Welcome to episode 58 of Pera's Playbook. Today, I'm joined by Madelyn Atkins of the Denver women's basketball team. Madelyn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Monday's over. That's a good. I mean, it's not over, but like the work day is over for me, and that's always a good thing. Monday's the hardest.
Yes,
Hardest.
first day of the week.
Yeah, I was so tired this morning. I don't know why. I mean, it's Monday, but still, like, extra tired today. So happy that we're past that. We're going to talk all about your time at Denver here, but before we get to that, you had some really good success in high school. So your time prior to Denver, a few things that we can talk about, and one of them is you were a 1,000 point club. You hit 1,000 points, which is kind of like it's one of the big things everybody wants to do in high school basketball is hit 1,000 points. When did you hit it? Like, at what point was it like close to the end of the year and you hit it, and you needed a lot to get there, or was it in the middle? Was it easy?
I hit 1,000 points mid conference season of my junior year. Got to hit it at home, 3-pointer in the corner was nice to be able to do it on home court. And then after that, it was really exciting. I had been wanting that. I didn't know how that would go, reaching that goal, was it possible? Was it not possible? Am I that type of scorer? Things like that. But being able to do that and do it at home was quite the way to do it. So I was super excited.
Yeah, well, you were definitely able to as a scorer, because you were also your high school's all-time leading scorer. I mean, was that a goal that you had when you started high school, or did you even think that was possible initially?
When I started playing high school, freshman year summer, I asked our head coach there, Coach Greg Ritchie. I asked, what is the all-time leading scoring record? Just curious. He told me what it was. After reaching 1,000 points my junior year, I was like, this might be a pretty obtainable goal if I keep on it. Right after that, in the spring of my junior year, I tear my ACL. And, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to reach that. Coming back off, that's quite the mountain to overcome. So, but I was able to come back my senior year, a couple games in, and finish it out and reach that goal. And it was really bittersweet to be able to do that. Especially after coming off that ACL injury and having to work back and get a shot again and learn how to run again and do all those things. Just being able to do that, it kind of proved a lot to myself that if things are meant to be, they're going to happen and you're going to have obstacles, but overcoming them and just reaching stuff like that, it meant a lot to me being able to do that.
Yeah, that's incredible that you tore your ACL and you still beat the record. I mean, like you said, to be able to come back from that, it's such a hard injury. A lot of people are never the same after they have that injury, and to come back and still beat the record with having all that time that you missed. I'm assuming you missed
Yeah.
some games there once you tore it in your
Yeah,
junior
I missed some
season.
games in preseason, and I was crunching the numbers at night with my parents. I'm like, guys, I don't know, we're gonna have to pull something out. But sure enough, 2 games left in the season, I hit it, and I was super excited about that.
Yeah, that's definitely a thrilling, for a high schooler, big goal like that, and to be etched in your school's history. Like, even if somebody else beats it someday, you still held it for a while. You're still going to be in the top lists, but I'm sure, you want to hold on to it for a little bit.
A little bit would be nice, yeah. But hey, somebody goes out and beats it, props to them.
Yeah,
It was
more power to
great for
them.
me to beat, and I'm sure it'll be great for somebody else to beat one day too.
Yeah. You were also three-time All-State, and obviously that comes along with scoring lots and doing well. Each time you were honored with that, did it feel the same, or was it like special each time?
It was special just because it kind of felt like, some people get it once and they're satisfied. I think keeping with the consistency that I wasn't satisfied with just one or two, to be able to get it every year and prove to myself that I'm progressing as a player, making myself better in other aspects, it meant a lot to be able to keep that consistency through high school and keep getting better as I got to college.
Yeah. Did you know you wanted to play college like the whole time? As soon as you hit high school, you had the dream, or even before high school?
Yeah, before high school, my cousin Jordan Davis played at Baylor for Kim Mulkey, won a national championship there with her. So, growing up, seeing her flash her national championship ring really got me in the mood to play college basketball. I'll be honest, I'm probably a better softball player if I had stuck with it, but I wanted to prove that I could do it. I could do something that I probably wasn't as great at, and if I worked hard enough, I could do it. So yeah, about middle school, I started playing on the circuits and things like that, wanting to reach this goal. Had some great people along the way help me get there. Doug Young, Keisha, Ruben Diaz was a huge part of my recruiting process and helping me reach this goal that I really wanted. So yeah.
When you started your recruiting process, did you have any like, I want to stay in state, I want to go really far? Like, did you have any ideas of how far or close you wanted to be to home, or were you kind of just open to anything?
Starting out, I obviously kind of wanted to be close to home. I'm an only child. I'm really close with my parents. So leaving home was a little scary, I won't lie, but I didn't really have a school I was set on. Everybody wants to play for Kim Mulkey. I think that would have been, awesome, seeing as though my cousin won a national championship with Kim Mulkey. But I didn't really have a place set in stone. I wanted to go to the program that fit me best, that they really wanted me. And so I was kind of open to all my options when it came to the recruiting process.
So at what point did Denver enter the picture? Did they enter like early, mid, or like late recruiting period?
Denver entered, I'd say pretty early, in my junior year, not necessarily September 1st, but soon after there, Denver reached out to me. I had a great connection with the coaching staff at the time, and now we have different coaches, but I have a great connection with them too. So, they were really supportive through my injury that I had towards the end of my junior year and things like that. So, yeah, I'm really appreciative to them and the relationships that I've built here.
You mentioned that you have a different coaching staff now. Was that difficult having to go through a transition? You were recruited by one coaching staff, and now there's different coaches in there.
Not really. So we still have the same head coach and associate head coach here, Coach Woods and Coach Dubs. But the assistant coaches are different. But I will say, as much as I love the former coaching staff, nothing but love for them, great people. I also do love this coaching staff. It wasn't really something that worried me coming in and hearing that news. I was super excited. I committed to Denver for the school and more than just the coaching staff. So when that change happened, I wasn't really worried, and I was super excited to get to meet the new coaches.
And that's good, to mention like recruiting and going to a place for the school and not the coach. I feel like a lot of people, you see it, they go somewhere for the coach leaves, and now they don't know what to do because that's the only reason they went to that school. Obviously, transfer portal is so big now. So I think that's just like an important thing for people to think about when recruiting. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I didn't play college sports, but it's just, maybe don't always make the decision just off of a coach, unless you're, really, really, really set on it, because
Yeah.
coaches can come and go, but the school is always going to be there.
Yeah, Denver's a great school academically, and I knew that I wanted to be here, basketball wise, but I also wanted to be here for the location, the people here, and the connections I would be able to make here at the University of Denver. So I was happy with my choice. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So year one, you got played in 27 games. You had 5 starts. It's really awesome stuff for a first year. Coming in, did you have an idea that you were going to get to play a decent amount, or was it kind of, as you work hard, you'll earn more time?
Yeah, so coming in, I honestly didn't know, as a freshman, you never really know. I think one thing that I kind of just go by is I'm just going to work as hard as I can, and whatever comes of that comes of that. Last year it came, some great things came of it, and that's kind of always the way that I've gone about things. Is just, I trust the work that I'm putting in, and I trust that, I'm going to get something out of it, and if I don't, that's great too, because I'm just going to give it what I have. And that had some great stuff last year, 5 games starting in, got to be a part of some big games, South Dakota games, and some really big wins. So I was super excited with that.
Was there any a part of the transition, like the difference in playing style, that you found difficult to adjust to from high school to now the college game?
Yeah, I would say the college game is just much faster. People always talk about the pace of the game and things like that, but until you're really in it, you really don't realize how much faster it is. So just the pace of play, I would say, especially up here in Denver, the altitude's a lot different where they're than down in Arkansas. So coming in straight away as a freshman, that was quite the adjustment to make. But yeah, I'd say pace of play is definitely one thing that I had to just get in there and learn, because you can't really learn it from watching. So.
Yeah, it's just something that once you get the experience, you get used to it, but there's nothing really you can practice to figure it out first. It's kind of,
Yeah, you can work out as hard as you want to and things like that, but until you get in it and your adrenaline's going and you're ready to go, you can't really make that in
yeah.
practice.
little bit of baptism by fire, just gotta. So this year, I mean, all that experience as a freshman really had to help you with, I mean, confidence, just, understanding the game, the speed, your skill, all that stuff. So do you feel like you notice a difference in your own playing and, your abilities and kind of how you can play the game and everything from last year to this year?
Yeah, definitely. After season in the spring, had a great spring with the team out here. Expanding my game when it comes to shots. But now in games this year, it just feels like it's at a slower pace. I'm able to slow my mind down in games and kind of focus on things. It's easier to hit shots. You're not as worried. You're not as I don't know what to do. You're a little more calm, collected, and able to make plays that I wouldn't have been able to my freshman year. So yeah, definitely that experience plays into a big role in big games. So.
Yeah, and if you do get worried, you can like tell yourself, "Hey, I've been here before. Like, just relax."
Yeah, been here before. We can do this. It's all gonna be all right.
So far this year, you guys probably don't have the exact start you'd want. You lost some close games, but it's still super early in the season. So what do you think you guys need to do as a team to kind of turn things around at this point and, moving forward?
Yeah, I definitely had some really close losses. Those always hurt the most. Going forward, we've talked about, as a team, we just need to control our controllables, the little things and they're all things we can control, free throws, turnovers, little things like that. And once we put a whole game together, defensively and offensively, we've had some amazing defensive games, some amazing offensive games. Once we put those together, we're going to be a real hard team to beat. So I think just trusting that it's going to come together, we're putting in the work for it, and losing games by things we can control is pretty motivating, because those are little things. By the time conference comes around, we'll be ready to go. So
Yeah. And that's what really matters. You're figuring this is the time to figure things out. If you're going to lose games now, lose them out of conference. I mean, yeah, it's nice to sometimes have some bragging rights. So out of conference, we won all these games, but the conference schedule is obviously the most important. So,
yeah, we want to play our best basketball in March. So whatever it takes
yeah.
there, that's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of teams that, I mean, the college basketball, it's so crazy. Like when you get to March, I remember last year watching the men's, the Mountain Big Sky. I think it was the Big Sky, Northern Arizona. I think they won 5 games all year, and then they made a run to their conference championship game and lost to Montana State. So, I mean, you really never know what can happen throughout the season. That's the beauty of college basketball.
Definitely.
So I noticed on your Instagram you had some different NIL stuff. I know different people had like mixed feelings when NIL started. Some people, thought, "Oh, this isn't fair because it's not going to be even." Other people, "Oh, this is great right away." What were your initial thoughts with NIL?
Initially in high school, I never really thought of NIL as like a thing that would actually happen. Honestly, I kind of viewed getting your college paid for as our NIL, as our profit, So I never actually thought it would be something that came through and happened at the college scale, just because there's so many different ins and outs of it. But when it first came that we would be able to do NIL, I was super excited just because making connections with people and being able to support things that really matter to me. I was super excited about it. So when I got the chance to kind of look around and see, some things that I maybe want to get involved with, I was super thrilled to be able to do that.
And the few NIL things that you're involved with, did you reach out to those companies? Did they reach out to you? How did you get hooked up with them?
Right. So it's kind of a mix depending. The biggest NIL I have is Moolah Kicks, and I kind of reached out to them because it was something I was really, really interested in. It's a women's basketball shoe brand. And I never had women's basketball shoes growing up. I always wore, something from the men's section, LeBron's, Kobe's, something like that, Kyrie's. And so being able to kind of see, this brand's on the come up and they're making shoes for girls to wear, that was really interesting to me. So I reached out to them. Ashley Charme, she emailed me back. We got on a Zoom call and really talked about the, what they stand for, what they're looking for, and what I was looking for in a brand to kind of collab with. And we had a lot of the same ideas and same things. So I was super excited to be able to do that. When it comes to Moolah Kicks, a lot of the things I do for them is I get out in the community. I go to high schools, I go to, tournaments, and I talk to their teams about, what Moolah Kicks means to me, my journey as a college basketball player and high school basketball player. So being able to be a part of that, and they're really on the come up now, lots of WNBA players wearing their shoes. And, I work basketball tournaments in my free time. I see little girls running around wearing moolah kicks. And it just really means a lot to me to be able to see that, because that was something I never got to have. And so to spread the word about that and be a part of such a big movement, it really means a lot to me. So
Yeah, it has to feel good to be a part of it, and to see the growth. I mean, it's just another kind of thing where the women's game is growing. So you obviously you deserve your own shoe. And once it grows to a point where no girls have to wear, I mean, unless they want to, I guess if you
yeah,
really have your
definitely.
heart set on wearing some Kobe's, go ahead, go, or Steph Curry's or whatever the newest best thing is, people can do that, but it should be an option, and there should be an easy option. So that's
Definitely.
super cool that you get to be a part of spreading that word and getting it out there for different, like you said, going to high schools. I'm sure there's a lot of kids who've never heard of it when you go
Yeah,
talk to them.
definitely. Yeah,
I
there's a
never
lot
heard
of
of it.
girls that are like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, I start talking, they're like, where can I get these? And I'm like,
Yeah.
online, like sporting goods, go try them out. And, I always tell people, go grab a pair and run around in them. If you like them, wear them. And if you don't, that's all right too. But like you said, being able to have the option to
Yeah.
have women's basketball shoes, it's important to me. So I'm super glad that, those who want to wear them can go wear them, and that's great. So
I guess it's another way that NIL is huge for companies that are growing, or smaller companies that aren't as well known, because like you can go out in the community and spread the word, and people are going to get that firsthand, point of view on different things. So it really is a plus for both you as the athlete and them as the company. You're both getting something great out of the experience.
yes, yes.
So what's your favorite part of Denver so far? Just like as a whole, the school, everything.
As a whole here at Denver, I've made a lot of really good relationships. I have a lot of really great friends that I've made here, not only on the basketball team, but outside the basketball team also, in my classes and things like that. I've made a lot of connections. I do a lot of work with the Gold Crown Foundation here in Colorado, who hosts the Nuggets camp every year, and they host tournaments for kids and things like that. So being able to have these connections out in the community, and being in such a big city with so many opportunities to make a difference or go and help and do things like that, it really means a lot. And I wouldn't be able to do that, back home in a small town. So I think that's my favorite part about being in Denver, is just how many opportunities I have to really make a difference, not only in my life and out there shooting threes and things like that on the court, but like actually make a difference. And that's great. I just love it.
And that's got to make you feel good about the choice you made too, like that you get all these opportunities, because you might not have had them at some other schools. Like you're not going to get those opportunities everywhere. So that you have them has to just kind of reinforce, hey, I'm meant to be here and this is my place.
Yes, definitely.
So what's your favorite or best basketball memory? Like your whole like life playing basketball? Was it breaking the school record or 1,000 points? Is there something else that really sticks out in your memory?
Thousand points was, one of my favorite memories. There's a lot of AAU games that I'm just, I played for the Arkansas Banshees, and we beat Team Curry for a Under Armour National one year. And, being in those tournaments and things like that with so many girls who are now out there playing Division I basketball, it's just a widespread family. So I honestly feel like my entire basketball experience has been, just making great memories with great people. And people move and change every year, and I keep in touch with a lot of people there. So, 1,000 points was one of my favorite memories. All-time leading scorer was one of my favorite memories. But I think when it comes down to it, making those fun plays in games, behind the back pass, hitting a three to win it, or things like that, those little parts of the games, I think, are probably my favorite memories that I hold on to.
Yeah, the things that only you know about, the things that only you remember.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about a few, I guess, non basketball things here. Kind of end out the episode. That's kind of how I like to do it. We'll talk sports, and then we'll talk non-sports for a little bit. Like, what's your favorite food?
I think I'm a basic. I just, steak and mashed potatoes probably my go-to. If I were to
Yeah.
pick, so can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So,
Do you get a lot of steak in college?
our pregame meals, we typically have, steak and baked potatoes, something like that. So we actually
Yeah.
do kind of a little bit. Our pregame meals, our Dobo does a great job of getting us some good stuff up here. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I know some people are like, yeah, I haven't had that kind of food in a long time, or different colleges obviously have different, meals, and basketball would be a little different playing the weeknight, you're going to eat more of a dinner type food. When some
Right.
sports, I mean, I know basketball, you have weekend games too, but some sports only play on weekends. So they maybe only have breakfast. And you're not going to have the same
Yeah,
types of
my
food.
favorite games are the late games. We can have a dinner beforehand, and like I said, Ardobo Thailand does a great job of making sure we have some good stuff up in the pregame meal. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're doing well over here at Denver.
that's good. What's your most used emoji?
Probably the laughing crying emoji. I think it's universal. It goes for everything. So
Yeah.
uh, that's definitely my most used.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like I feel like a lot of people, there's probably some people out there who use some different unique emojis. They get inside jokes, maybe they use it a lot. But I feel
Yeah,
like the laughing, crying face has to be the most, like if they took a survey of
yeah,
everyone who
it's got to be
uses
universal.
emojis, it's got to
Yeah,
be the
it's got to be
number
top
one. Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite movie?
I'm big on rom-coms, so 500 Days of Summer, Can't Buy Me Love, Pretty Woman. I'm big on rom-coms. Those are my comfort movies. So I'd have to say any of those, you can't really go wrong. I even like Hallmark movies during the winter, even though they're corny. So I'm easy to please.
They are corny, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons that makes them great. Like you know what you're getting. Like,
Yeah, you know what you're getting. You can fall asleep in the middle of it and not miss much. So
yeah, you can wake up at the end and you turn it on halfway through and you can figure out who's what pretty quickly. And most of them are pretty heartwarming. So if you need something light and fluffy, it's like the
yeah,
perfect channel to turn on if you're having a bad day.
perfect.
What about music? Like, what's your pregame go to?
The team won't like me for this, but I'm big country music.
Okay.
So in the mornings when I go in to shoot, that I prefer to get shots up in the morning just because I'm a morning person. I don't like to be out late and things like that. So when I get shots up in the morning, it's country music, and they'll come in the gym like, all right, all right. But I'm big on Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan. Those are probably my top, and I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. So that's
Yeah.
typically what I've got pregame. It gets me going. I kind of like a calm pregame music. Nothing too crazy. So
Yeah. What's the team have going like on the
the team's
Ox?
big on rap. Rod Wave, I respect Rod Wave. I like his music, but they're always listening to rap. So when it's my time, I'm big on the country music. So
Yeah. Do you get a chance with the Ox cord to put country on or?
yeah, like I said, I get aux in the morning right before practice starts. Practice starts. Coach Woods takes over, and she plays with the team once instead of what I've got going. So yeah, I get it right in the morning, but that's my time, and I enjoy every second of it. So
Yeah, you got to get to your country when you can. Hey, I mean, I'm not a huge country person, but I think, going around talking to people, it's primarily rap. That's the
yeah,
go-to. So I like hearing when it's country or something different. It's a little more fun when you hear somebody's like, yeah, this is what really pumps me up, and it's
yeah.
completely different than rap or whatever it is. So what are your hobbies? When you're not playing basketball, obviously, I know during the school year with basketball and school, things are pretty busy, but when you have some free time, what do you like to do for fun?
I'm big on golf. I like to go golf, especially in the spring, summer, early fall. It's hard to do here during our off time in the winter because it's snowing every other day. But when we have some off time in the warmer months, I'm at the driving range playing a couple rounds of golf. So that's my biggest hobby that I did in high school. When I got hurt in high school, I joined the golf team for the beginning of the year, and I was like, you know what, I enjoy this. So yeah, that's kind of been a hobby that's hung with me, and I can go and do it by myself and have some alone time just to kind of go out there and hit some balls. So it's my big hobby right there.
Yeah, and you're still doing a sport, but it's like a much more relaxing, like take a step back sport if you're doing it casually. I mean, I know if you're
If
playing
I'm
in the
bad at on the course one day and go home, it's not that big of a
right,
deal.
yeah, it's
So
not the Masters. It's
yeah,
okay. Just a little bit of a release and a
yeah,
step back from chaos.
yep.
So kind of at, this point in the year or maybe, beginning of the year, do you have any big goals or does the team have any big goals that you guys want to achieve or that you personally want to achieve over the rest of the season?
Yeah, as a team, we our goal is to cut a net down. We want to win a conference championship. So that's really our big team goal. Personal goals, I want to get in and make some plays. I don't necessarily have to be the leading scorer every game, but if I can go in and make some big plays, get our team some extra possessions, take a couple charges here and there. I'll be satisfied and get a winning streak going here. We've been putting in a lot of work. I know other teams put in a lot of work too, but we're ready to start our winning streak and head towards cutting the net down. So, as a team, that's really what we're looking forward to. That's what our sights are set on. And these early games that, we're losing close right now, those are preparing us to cut that net down. So
this is perfect time in the season to make that switch and go on that run. It's not too close to tournament time where you're like, oh man, we're running out of time, and it's not so early in the season. It's you've got things figured out now, what you can change, and we're almost, not to the midway point, but some teams have played, more than 5 games already, and that's crazy. There's a few teams obviously that are different schedules, but it's that perfect time.
Would be great going into conference. We're in December right now. We'll start conference here in just a little bit. So going into conference on a win streak and get the confidence going in the team.
Yeah.
Things like that.
A little momentum.
Strong would be great.
Yeah. That'd be the perfect way to do it. Well, Madelyn, thanks for coming on the podcast. Wish you the best of luck with those goals. Hopefully we can see Denver women's team cutting down some nets come March. So thanks for coming on.
Definitely. Thank you so much.